As our crackpot culinary team have proven, even adults battle dealing with change, those curveballs. But these are, in fact, life skills that should be developed really early on. And luckily, we can lean on our creative parenting expert, Miss Nikki Bush. She has got some sage advice on how you can help your child adapt to change.
Now, earlier on this morning, we spoke about how change affects our children at the beginning of every school year. Now, we're continuing that conversation with our regular creative parenting expert, Nikki Bush. Nikki, lovely to have you back. So we're focusing this time around on the older children. And, I think change is quite different, especially for kids going, to primary school, to high school even, because there's so much change taking place. And I, for one, wasn't the best at accepting that change.
Yeah, so I think what's important is that your child needs at least one friend. If it's not that friend's not in their class, at least they're in the grade that they can meet them during the break time. So if you are a parent whose child's gone to a new school, try and make an effort to arrange play dates so that your child can expand their social circle. It means a lot. Get to know the teacher, obviously. And, there are things like your child needs to know the layout of the school. Your child needs to know the exact point at which you're going to collect them in the afternoon. These are the things that keep children calmer when there's change. Yeah. And the kind of things you'd look for, the symptoms of change in a child, they might become a little bit more withdrawn, maybe a bit quiet. You can also have the opposite. When they're feeling out of control, they could become over-controlling and they could become more outgoing and do sort of negative attention-seeking behavior type activities. So just watch for some of those warning signs, but for the most part, it does settle.
Yeah. So I mean, it's really about the parents observing the children, really paying close attention, when they are going to the school, maybe there's a lot of things that's, that's unforeseen, I think, things that can really affect them differently that you might think is not a big deal. So I think, how can parents just make it a little bit easier for the kids? You've laid out a couple of rules out there, like the pickup points, but what can parents do from our side to really make it easier?
So firstly, be as calm as possible. As we spoke about earlier in the show, it's a bit infectious.
At least on the exterior.
Your anxiety is infectious. Yeah, at least, absolutely. On the outside, just be calm.
We all know how we panic on the inside.
Find a friend to speak to. Okay. Rather than letting it all out on your children, pick up the phone when you've dropped your children at school and have a good cry with your mum or with a good friend. Let it out, because it's much better if you let it out than if you hold on to it and then it transfers itself to your children. You need to be as prepared as possible. So those little practical things of making sure your kids have got all the equipment they need, the stationery, the books, the uniform, all that stuff. Suddenly they've joined a tennis team and they need tennis shoes. They've got to have what they need. Being organised. Knowing what the timetable is, and on different days, sometimes they finish at different times, like Wednesday or Friday can often be an early day. Making sure that like different grades, if you've got a child in the junior primary and a child in the senior primary, because of traffic issues in the parking lot, they sometimes have a 10-minute differential in the starting times. Okay. Do you know that?
I had no idea.
Okay, so not to you, but does the parent know that? And then we need to make sure that we are tuned into our children, that we connect with them, and that we're reading the signs in between, and that means we have to be more present and stop our hectic busyness and just chill a little bit and just tune in.
Just chill a little bit. The upside of change, because I know that change can be seen as a very negative thing as well, especially from a child's perspective. But what's the upside? Why is change then good?
It's actually very good for children, Ewan. Our children need to learn to be adaptable and resilient. And when they change environments and they have to learn how to deal with it, this is how they learn that they are capable of doing this. And so it's very easy for us sometimes to run to their rescue all the time and to try and carry them through the change. Sometimes we just need to stand back and observe a little bit.
Yeah, it's easier said than done, but it's very important. We can't make that change for them. That's right. I think the most important one. Nikki, thank you so much. Always very valuable advice on your Feel Good Breakfast show. So as a parent, go out there, help your children deal with change, stand back, and like Nikki said, just chill.
Believe they can.
Believe they can.